going on, everybody? Rock on. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. Welcome to Dungeon Dive Live. I'm your host, Paul, and I'll be your DM for a little while. And tonight we're going to be talking about two things. We're going to talk about, maybe several things. We'll see. We're going to talk about the recap of our Shadowdark game last night, where we had a ton of fun, as we usually do, but it wasn't our normal session. We had a side quest. We didn't have all our peoples there. We had Vance was out, who plays Blaga as his character, and so we weren't able to do that. So we decided to go ahead and go on a side quest. And so we're going to talk about side quests for a little while. And then we'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. If you guys have questions for me, if you have any of those things, happy to answer any Dungeon Master questions, those type of things. Happy to do that. If you want to just talk shop, that's fine as well. Talk games, whatever you want to talk about. But I'm usually on here for about 30, 40 minutes. I try not to outstay my welcome, as they say. I try to get in, get out, get off the stage, go do something else, let you guys get back to whatever it is you guys are doing, because I'm sure you're busy as well. So let's go ahead and start off real quick as people are entering in. If you're brand new, by the way, thank you for checking out the show. Thank you for checking out the channel. I believe the channel is doing very well right now, by the way. The recent video that I did, which is on the Vilhon Reach, I'm doing a whole series on this, which is going to be up in the members area, and I'll talk to you about members area in just a minute. But doing a whole series on that, and that video is doing quite well. It's I want to say it's around 1,300. Let me double check real quick, just see kind of where we're at. And I want to thank you guys for your views, your likes, your thumbs ups, all the things you guys give, which is only adds more value to the channel. But let's see here. It is going to be, wow, it's more than that. It's 2,300 views. Yeah, the Dungeons and Dragons setting every new DM must have. And I believe that. That's not hyperbole. I think this is a great setting. Yes, to play in. Yes, to use at your table. But I also think it's a good example of what a good setting is. It has all the great bones of a setting. And that's what I'm going through on the channel. I'm going through this kind of, not page by page and not word for word, but I'm doing some reading and I'm sharing all the elements of the Vilhon Reach that I enjoy and why I think it's a great setting and why I think DM should have it. And if you have this setting, if you've played in that setting, I'm getting a lot of great comments too from a lot of guys who were subscribers to, and I'm learning things, by the way. Like you had to be. One of our subscribers says you had to be a subscriber, a member of the RPGA, and to have access to Polygon that wasn't sold in stores. That's why I didn't see it next to one of these here. Just so happened to have a Dragon magazine. So it wasn't sold next to those. I think you had to be a subscriber is what they told me, if I am correct. And anyway, so doing the dive in here with this is a lot of fun for me because I just like getting deep on things. I like to just take my time. I like to explore because in my exploring, I discover new things. So for me, that's it's a lot of fun to do that, to just be an explorer in some ways and just say, I'm going to dig in this for myself. And I'm already finding things. I'm working on video number 2, and I haven't decided. In video number 2 is going to be about the opening kind of keys where they kind of set the stage for the setting. Because part of this is going to be, talking about why the setting is good, all that kind of good stuff, but also the elements that make it good. And it's going to be about the climate and the weather. I don't know how far I'm going to get in this next video, though. I'm doing climate and the weather, which they start off with in both the player's book and the DM's guide. Also about forces at work, things that are going on in the in the Vilhon Reach, who are the major players, if you will. And then the third element of that is, let's see, it's climate, forces at work, and what's the other one? What is the other one? Oh, is the history and the calendar. How can I forget that? But the history and the calendar to give your setting some depth. So we're going to be getting into that. So if you are interested at all in being part of the members area, let me just show you a couple things about that. And so yeah, if you do that, if you become a member, you can watch me break down the whole setting, the Vilhon Reach, plus some of the Swords of the Iron Legion, Pirates of the Fallen Stars. Also, you're going to get some very cool badges. I made those badges myself. But you say, Paul, we don't need no stinking badges. Well, maybe you do. Maybe you do need some badges because you want to, hey, be a part of the group and the team and the thing because you want to support the things that I'm doing, which I think is fantastic. And then not only do you get really cool badges, you're going to be part of live streams. I'm going to do just special live streams. Maybe we work on your game. Maybe we work on questions that you have that don't, are not public or whatever. But we're going to work on those things together, or just some fun stuff. Just have some fun together. And then also you're going to get the free Crit Happens zine. I have a Discord, so I can find ways to get it to you that way. I don't know if I'll ever do a Patreon or anything like that. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, we'll have that. And then, once a month game option. And if you're joining this month, I already have the game picked. It's going to be a Shadowdark game. It's going to be Return of the White King. I want to say Return of the White King. I'll say that. Not quite sure if that's correct or not, but I'm going to say that it is. So if you're interested in any of that, then I will drop a link right here in the chat. You can check that out for yourself and join the members. Let me go ahead and get a link for you. So if you are interested in that to get the content, then I want you to have the content. So let's go ahead and drop that right here. And we'll put membership, and then we'll add this. There we go. And there you go. You have a link now that you can join, become a member, and get all the cool stuff, because I'm just ramping up. It's gonna be robust. I can tell you that. It's going to be robust. That member group is, I'm going to do a lot of things. I'm going to pull a lot of stuff off. See all these books on the shelves here? Yeah, those are going to find their way into the membership area. So we'll be chatting a lot of old school stuff, and it will be a lot of fun. All right, so let's carry on then. Now that we are done with all those things, people have come in. If you're here, once again, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part. Would love to know. Leave a comment in the chat there. Tell me where you're from. If you're brand new, just say hey. That way I know who you are. But you're welcome to stalk. You're welcome to just kind of sit there and just hang out and see what all's going on here, which is perfectly fine. All right, so let's get down to nitty-gritty. I keep notes on the game. So if you have not watched the Shadowdark series, I have a playlist, and the playlist is on my channel. You can find that, and it's the Shadowdark live play. And if you watch the videos, you'll see me with my head down oftentimes, and I'm just busily writing away. I am writing in my notebook about what I need to know, because I like to keep good notes. I found that not keeping good notes can get you in trouble because you forget something and you go, oh, and you know what? Your DM and my DM is not responsible to tell you anything. Okay. And it's true. I will, if you're a brand new player, I'll kind of help out a little bit. But if you're a DM, you're not responsible to tell your players or remind them of anything. If they're not remembering, and once again, you got to give forecast to them and say, hey, listen, I'm not going to tell you. If you're not keeping notes, I'm not going to tell you unless it's a brand new game with brand new players or something. Then I will be gracious to them. But if you're playing for a while and go, well, you didn't take the notes, I can't help you there, right? And so let's get to the beginning here. So at the beginning, we didn't, by the way, like I said, if you're coming in and you are did not catch the beginning there, Vance, who plays Blogga, was not in our game last night. He had some work things to do. So we said, well, and we kind of voted, and the erudite DM, we asked the chat, and he was in there. So we said, do we do the regular adventure, or do we do a side quest? So we left it to him, since he was the only viewer at the time. We said, okay, and he went with side quest, which I think's a great choice. Because if you're going on the adventure and you don't have all your players there, have a side quest available. Have something ready. And Tim, who is our DM, had a great side quest that we're going to talk about. And like I said, I'm working on a video on how to do side quests. And I think Tim had a great example of how to do a side quest. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit as well. All right, so in this particular story here, we are in the city of Scorn, and we meet Godfrey. And by the way, I am playing a new character. If you're not familiar, if you've missed the news, if you missed the news, Eleanor, poor Eleanor, has passed, and she died gloriously. She was shuffled away by zombies. So. Pretty epic death. So if you're interested in that, that's part of the thing as well. All of that, the death, her death was caught on camera, so to speak. And so if you're interested in how to proceed with character deaths, there you go. That's how you do it, I guess. At least I think that's how it goes. I think that was pretty epic. And now I am playing Taryn Doomsinger, which is kind of like a if you think of if you're any familiar with Molly Hatchet, which is an old 80s Southern rock band, their artwork is pretty epic. And so if you are my character looks like one of the characters off of the Molly Hatchet album, red hair. He just looks like wearing chainmail. He's a barbarian background, I think. And anyway, he is a lot of fun to play because he is just all about his deity Romlot, and he is all about the doom. He cannot wait for the apocalypse. He is so excited about the world ending and there being blood and fire, and so that's his jam. Anyway, moving on with the story here. So we met Godfrey, and Godfrey is we're in a town of Scorn. And this town is a pretty robust town. It's pretty, I don't know, I didn't ask Tim what the population is. I'm going to guess a few thousand. But Godfrey is kind of the city's, for the guild masters at least. He works for the guild masters, and he approaches us with a quest. First of all, he wants us to get involved with the Adventurers Guild, and so we do. We go down there, we get our paperwork in order, we get signed up, all the things that we do, and so what we wind up doing is we take on a task of going to this is all, by the way, there's a festival going on, and it is like a solstice festival of life, which is a solstice kind of festival. It's moving on. We're there for winter. So that's why we're in the city in the first place. And then, but also there's also which is also some people are looking at as a festival that honors the dead. So there are two views of the festival going on. And it's a little weird though, I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of, and I don't know how this is going to play out. This is just conjecture here. I don't know anything else, but, there's a lot of kids running around. It makes me a little nervous. And the other reason, by the way, we took it not only was, the original quest, by the way, was that we were going to go into there was a fog that was happening. And so this happens like if you just like jump back in time just a little bit, it's pre-fog. So we jump back in time and now we're doing our things, right? So anyway, we are moving on here. So anyway, Godfrey comes to us. We go down to the thing. He is like the ambassador. He's a deal maker. He's making money on both sides here. He's making money from the government folks. He's making money from the guild people. And I think that's good to have if you're in a large enough city, and it doesn't have to be a large enough city, but any city where you have a representative who can give a little bit of exposition or background. And man, we got a ton of it. Not in the way that you think, not in this kind of like reading off a thing, but through role play. We were having a good conversation, and in the midst of that conversation, we were finding out some things. Okay, we found out about the Temple of the Dalaquin. We found out about who the founder, Lord Reginald of the Adventurers Guild. I found out that Taryn had a brother. Somebody asked the guild master of the Adventurers Guild says, "Do you have a brother?" And I said, "Why, yes, I do." It was just an opportunity to say, "Yeah, why not? Sure, I got a brother. He's just a little more weird than I am." I go through this blood rite. I had this not come up yet, but I have a blood rite I do, and he takes that to my brother, which I don't know his name yet, takes that to an extreme. Adela is the one doing the onboarding. So she is onboarding us into the Adventurers Guild, and then we get our first assignment, which is it's a test run. And so we got to go to Filbert the moneylender, and I think I've named my I don't know why I wrote this down here, but I just thought to myself, I need to name my weapon. So I think I'm just going to name my weapon Doomlot the Bloody. And which is kind of a combination of Romlot and Doom. So Doomlot the Bloody sounds good to me. So we get there, and our role is to guard it's a festival, and so everybody's kind of putting their wares out. And Filbert, being a moneylender, is putting his wares out. He's got some things in boxes and so forth. And so my eye catches, or I hear something. I hear something in the back room, and I can't get to the back room. So this place is kind of like a title max, like a medieval title max, where I guess you can go in and give the title for your horses, and they hold on to your title and they give you money. And so there's a trap door in this room that I can't get to, and because it's closed off, it's like the back room or whatever, and Filbert's locked it up. And so anyway, I go back and I go, well, I want to go find out what's going on. So I go back there, and I said, I'm just going to kick the door down. If we're going to play this character, let's play him like you're going to play him. And he's just going to be that guy that's going to run in. He's going to knock down a door, and he's going to go through that. So he knocks down the door, and he sees coming up out of the floor this shadowy figure out of a trap door in the floor. And we don't know what's happening here, but immediately we go into fight mode, and we wind up fighting, and Tarvin almost kills her. Okay, Taryn almost kills her, kills this little elf. This little we come to find out that it is part of the Thieves Guild, and so. The deal is that, and we go through this, and by the way, and I forgot to mention the other cast of characters that are in this. There is Joe the lawyer, who's playing Columbo, who's a dwarf. There's Draymont, who is being played by Ken. Draymont is a cleric dwarf, and Joe is playing the fighter dwarf, Columbo. And anyway, they're out there, they're helping, and chaos begins to ensue because now I'm in a fight with this elf here, and I'm just, by the way, playing a fighter feels good because I'm getting all these bonuses and I'm actually hitting things. Versus Eleanor, who would try to cast spells. I don't know if I'm ever going to play a caster again. It's super frustrating. And there's really nothing you can do about it except till you level up. And then that's the whole goal, is stay alive long enough till you can level up, because in Shadowdark, You have to roll to see if you even get the spell off. And let's say you critical fail, which Eleanor has done several times. Then you have to roll on a diabolic chart for me. And then more chaos happens to you. So if it goes bad, it goes really bad. If it goes good, well, then it's good. But I don't know yet. I have to, I think I'll have to just think upon it, whether I shall play a caster again or not. Or maybe I'll just have to play in a high level one where my spells have a greater chance of going off. So we come to find out after Columbo and Draymond come in and help me, and we're trying to figure out why this person is sneaking through the floor, and why is there a trapdoor here in the first place? And Filbert is not being very helpful. Filbert is not being helpful at all. Filbert he's lying, is what he's doing. And because he's lying, we're now trying to catch on to that. And some of us do, and some of us don't. Draymond actually catches on. And what we find out is that this thief named Sabine, her name is Sabine. She's part of the Thieves Guild. She's part of the Silent Knives Thieves Guild. And what is happening is that basically this is like an insurance scam. That Filbert has paid her to come in and steal some money that is owed to the Thieves Guild, and then Filbert can get money back because of the insurance from the guild masters, from those folks. And so, Sabine lives. We make a deal with Filbert. Now, why this works out so well is several things have happened to this point. So we could have taken Sabine in, but once we find out that it's a rigged deal, we say, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to, as a party, we said, well, let's go ahead and keep all these relationships. So now we have Filbert over a barrel. We kind of know what he's doing, right? So we have some leverage there. We spared Sabine, which then buys us a little time and buys us some favor maybe with the Silent Knives. We completed our task. So that puts us in good with the Adventurers League and shows that we're capable. So all the way around, this turned out to be a good deal for the party. And so we're hoping that as we do this, we're gaining leverage. We're able then to say, that we know, and we did leverage some of it because Filbert then wound up paying us, we thought 25 silver apiece was fair to keep this secret. So secret shall be kept. And then we all went out like the Avengers and ate at Mama Jones' restaurant. We did not have shawarma, but we did have some good food. And we are staying at kind of a nice little apartment place. And that is where we're at as far as our story goes. And by the way, I do these updates, I do these recaps because if I do a recap, I actually get 2 hit points. 2 hit points, 2 experience points for doing the update. And so I do the update because obviously I want people to be able to watch the live. It's Monday night, every Monday night at 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. And so if you're able to join us, you're able to hang out with us, be a part. Would love for you to be a part. Come watch us live. Come cheer us on. And the thing that we talked about, and Joe the lawyer and I talked about this, that, we're not trying to be anything other than what we are. We're not entertainers, but we like to think we're entertaining, right? So we're just gamers having fun. And if you don't draw anything else from watching the game, you're just watching. There's nothing prepared. We don't know what our DM is doing. None of those things. So we're just playing the game in real time. And the cool thing about it, if you watch to the end, or even if you just skip to the end, you're going to watch. If you're not familiar with Shadowdark, you learn the rules. If you're not familiar with, maybe you're new to DMing, you say, how do I do this? How do I wrap things up? Well, you can watch at the end where we level up. Some of our characters have leveled up. We've gotten new spells. We have gotten more hit points. And so you watch that whole process, right? Versus let's say a show where you don't get to see all that. You don't get to see the sausage being made, so to speak. And so we try to do that. We try to do that as a group because we want to be really just as authentic as possible. We're just gamers showing up to game. play our game and show the passion and the love that we have for it. And then, when people watch it, well, they'll go, oh, that's kind of like my group, especially if you're of a certain age. You say, well, that's exactly how we used to play it back in the day. Or you may be younger and you say, oh, well, that's how they used to play it. It's a lot like how we kind of play it today. It's really not that much difference. It's not, everybody wants to make everybody separate. But I think we're not as separate as we think we are. I think there's a lot of other things at work that try to make us completely different from one another. So that just, I encourage you to watch, because I think you're going to see more than just a game. I think you're going to watch how Tim, who's a great DM, how he DMs. You're going to watch players who are invested in their characters, who are trying to do their best. They're trying things and failing. They're trying things and succeeding. You might get some ideas for your game. You might get ideas as a DM and feel like, hey, this is something I could do at my table, which we would strongly encourage, obviously, is to do that. And so I'll say something about the side quest and doing side quests. We chose to do the side quest because our audience voted on it and said, hey, you should do a side quest. That keeps us from having to do the adventure, the main adventure, without, if somebody doesn't show up to your table, well, then you have the option to say, okay, well, what can we do then? You don't have to cancel. You could just do a side quest and you back the clock up a little bit as far as your adventure. And, we can say, well, he went off to, go do something. Or I think one of our characters was in jail. We had to get them out. And so, one of the characters is roaming the streets or whatever was going on. So, but this side quest, and I'll talk more about it in the future video, is that, and I am one, this is me. I am in my own, I can admit that I have tried to overcomplicate things sometimes when really it just needs to be a straight shot. This side quest was super simple. 2.5 hours we played, and it worked out really good. It was so simple what we were asked to do. Go guard the stuff outside. Then we have, this thing happen where the thief comes up. We have to try to disrupt that. We wound up doing a ton of role play, some combat, a little bit of exploring, because now we know kind of where this tunnel goes. There's all these tunnels underneath the city. So we know where there's an underneath. If we need to escape, if we need to go somewhere, then we can do that. And so I think there are some real, like I said, I'm going to explore it in the video I'm going to do about side quests, and how to do it with simplicity. That it doesn't have to be super complicated. And those side quests are things that, DM should have in their pockets a little bit, just in case a player's missing, or if the party says, well, I'm going to do we're going to wander over this way. The shiny things over there. Oh no, what are we going to do? Well, now you got to think, well, we're going to do a little side quest here. What is that going to be? And we'll go get into that into the other video. Now, if you have any questions and you're watching this in the future, if you're here in the chat, obviously you can ask the question. If you're watching this future and have questions or comments, please leave them down below. And of course, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button that tells me you like the video and you want more of them. But I will tell you this, that currently and the reason why I'm, focused on things like Vilhon Reach as a setting, because I'm kind of building my own. I'm doing a horror Hex Crawl, the Hex Crawl of Horror, I'm calling it. It doesn't even have, the whole land doesn't have a name. It's just a tool set at the moment, but it's something I'm actively kind of working on. And currently, my current one is, this is the Witches of the Blackened Earth, and it has, and I think I have the thing here. Here it is. So I make my little things here. My local print shop prints those for me. And what makes this particular issue a little bit different than the other ones I have, which there are a few of those. I have this one here. This one's all about. This is the actual Hex Crawl. This is the basis of it. And so in the Witches one, I have several things. One is I have artwork that I purchased from Jeremy Hart, who does a lot of Shadowdark stuff, I believe. But you can see here, got some great artwork in there that gives you kind of some NPCs, kind of the heads of the coven, so to speak. And then I have something in there called I have a kind of a subclass called a Wasteland Caster, who is tapping into these messed up, corrupted ley lines of magic. And so they're drawing from that. And so there's like a whole little class of that. And then I put what Wasteland Magic is, as well as just how to plot your, there's these things called manifestations, that if something goes, if you're going to cast a spell, there's going to be a manifestation of some kind. So no matter what happens, you're going to cast a spell. And by the way, system neutral. You can use this for whatever setting you're running. It doesn't have to be Shadowdark, doesn't have to be 5e. You could use whatever you want to do. In this case, these are 6 mile hexes, and in those 6 mile hexes, there's all these various chaoses happening because of a hex that the witches did that went sideways. It's their fault that now there's a wasteland and there's dead roaming the earth, which is what I'm working on right now. Working on what I'm calling the corrupted. See what I did there? And so this is just a little thing. This is where the wasteland appears. Where the manifestation appears, what kinds of manifestations there are, all those kind of things. And so if you were interested in this at all, it's only $1. Only $1 over in my store. So let me go ahead and just drop that for you if you're interested in that at all. And you can get the other one. The other ones right now are just pay what you want. And so I depend right now on the generosity of folks like yourself. If you would like to be generous and you'd like to add a tip to that or whatever it is in my website and so forth, where I do these, you can do that. But this is Crit Happens, which is my zine, and like I said, I'm currently doing the Hex Crawl of Horror. You might be able to use it for your game this month if you're running any games. So let me go ahead and drop the link there if you're interested. There we go. Crit Happens, and you can go check that out as the latest. Plus there's other, like I said, there's 4 other zines in there. And so if you are interested in that at all, check it out. But yeah, that is it for tonight, guys. Like I said, I only stay on for as long as I need to stay on so that you can go about your business, do the things you want to do. If you have any questions, now's a good time to ask them. If you are interested in asking any questions, happy to answer them. Otherwise, just leave them down below, leave them in the comments. But thank you for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully this has been encouraging. And if you're not DMing yet, but you're thinking about it, let me encourage you to do so. I think you would do a good job at it. I don't know you, but I'm going to say, I think you're going to do a good job at it. So, but that is it for tonight, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate you being a part. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. That tells me you like it and you want more of them. But that is it for tonight. I'll see you guys in the next video. Talk to you guys later.